So in this video, I'm going to compare and contrast the Shun Sora 6-inch utility knife and the Wusthof Gourmet 6-inch utility knife. They actually call it a sandwich knife, which is sort of stupid, I think. It's obviously a utility knife. And the reason I'm doing this is because they are both in the same price range, and they're both the entry-level knives by their respective companies. So it just sort of makes sense to do this. Off the bat, these knives are much more different than they are similar. The Shun Sora is a handmade forged knife from Japan. The Wusthof Gourmet is a machine-made stamped knife from Germany, so you obviously have that. And really what it comes down to, I think, is the blades. The Sora uses VG10, which, as you all know, is the sort of gold standard for knife steel right now. It's a 61 hardness, so it's very, very hard. It holds an edge very well, and it's very resilient. The Wusthof uses their own custom blend of steel. It's about a 58 hardness, and what that means is that since it's softer, it's going to wear down more quickly, it's going to get dull more quickly, and it's going to need way more sharpening and way more honing. So that's really something you want to consider. On top of that, the actual edges are different. The Shun uses a very, very thin, very sharp 16-degree edge, and the Gourmet uses a much thicker 18.5-degree edge. And what that means is that with this knife, as you see, it doesn't cut any of my hairs. With the Shun, I'm not sure if you see how shaved this portion of my hand is. It's because for the past few videos I've been shaving my hand, and it does it perfectly. Just one swoop, it takes all the hairs off. So there's a real difference in sharpness here. On top of that, the actual blade of the Wusthof is just that steel that I was talking about, while the Shun is further wrapped on either side with a layer of stainless steel, which number one gives it this gorgeous design that I hope you can see, but number two, it makes it very resilient to pitting and staining and rust and things of that nature by virtue of just having so much stainless steel worked into it. Both knives have essentially full tangs, and what I mean is that the Wusthof obviously has a full tang. It's beautiful, it's hardy, and it works very well. The Shun has something called a rabbit tang, which is essentially how they used to make samurai swords. The tang ends about right here, but in practical use, it's going to work exactly the same as a full tang because you're still using the entire tang as a handle. You're not using just an empty handle with a tang that ends up here, which is unsafe. So in terms of practical use, like I said, same thing with the tang. Both knives do have plastic handles, which is something to consider. The Wusthof has a more traditional sort of German and American style handle, a European style handle, while the Shun has a more traditional Japanese style handle. What I really like about the design of this is it has these divots on either side since it's forged, and your fingers fit really nicely into it, and it gives you a really good amount of control while you're using the knife, and I like that a lot. Both knives also have essentially the same warranty. The Gourmet comes with a lifetime warranty, which is amazing, and the Shun comes with a 10-year warranty. And the reason I say it's essentially the same is because any manufacturing defect is going to show up well before the 10-year mark. So anything past 10 years is really just lip service. What I really like about the Sora, though, is that it also comes with free lifetime sharpening, which I think is a deal breaker. The reason is, if you take your knife to a reputable dealer who does it by hand and sharpens it by hand using whetstones, it's going to cost you about $5 per inch to sharpen, which means both of these knives would be roughly $30 to sharpen, and even then you don't really know what the result's going to be. There are always horror stories. With the Shun, you give it to them, they look at it. If they see any problems, they toss it and give you a new one. But otherwise, you can rest easy knowing they're going to put the exact same edge on the knife that you first fell in love with, and they're going to do it for free. So with all that said, I definitely think the Sora is the best choice between these two. It is handmade, it is forged, it's made with better steel, it has a sharper edge, it's wrapped in stainless steel, and it comes with free lifetime sharpening. I'll put a link down to both below, though. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you very soon.